Should you move in together before tying the knot? This is one of the most debated questions for modern couples, and everyone seems to have a strong opinion. Some say it's a crucial test drive for marriage, while others believe it's a recipe for disaster. So, what's the real deal? Let's dive into the pros, the cons, and what you really need to consider before signing a lease together. Let's start with the arguments for it. The biggest one is compatibility. When you're just dating, you're usually seeing the best version of your partner. They're on their best behavior, and so are you. But what happens when real life kicks in? Living together pulls back the curtain. You'll see how they handle stress after a long day at work, who really does the dishes, and what they're like when they're sick. It's the ultimate test of whether you can handle each other's everyday realities. Nigerian singer Simi pointed this out, saying it helps you see if you can truly do forever with someone. You discover their quirks, their habits, and how you both navigate conflict when there's nowhere to escape. It's about figuring out if your lifestyles are truly compatible beyond romantic dates. Another major point is testing sexual compatibility. For many people, a healthy and satisfying sex life is a vital component of a happy marriage. They feel it's essential to know if you connect on that level before making a lifelong commitment. It's about discovering each other's needs, desires, and rhythms. By being intimate beforehand, you can ensure that you're on the same page and can build a strong physical connection. This can also help set realistic expectations. Instead of entering a marriage with idealized fantasies, you have a clearer understanding of your partner's intimate behaviors and what to expect, which can prevent disappointment down the line. It's a way to align your needs and make sure you're both fulfilled. On the flip side, there are some powerful arguments against living together or being intimate before marriage. For many, this is a deeply held religious or moral conviction. Faiths like Christianity and Hinduism often teach that sex is a sacred act reserved for the commitment of marriage. From this perspective, premarital sex is seen as something that can create a spiritual or emotional disconnect. Rather than bringing a couple closer, it's viewed as stepping outside of a sacred boundary, and this can be a major source of internal conflict for people of faith. Beyond religion, there's the risk of emotional fallout. If you go against your own personal values, it can lead to significant feelings of guilt, shame, or regret. This is especially true if the relationship doesn't end in marriage. You might feel like you gave a part of yourself away without the security of a lifelong commitment, which can be emotionally damaging. There's also what some experts call the trial marriage fallacy. Dr. Scott Stanley, a prominent researcher, argues that living together can lead to what he calls sliding. Not deciding. Instead of making a conscious choice to get married, the convenience and shared life make it harder to break up, so couples slide into marriage out of inertia, not conviction. It can create a situation where it's easier to get married than to go through the pain of a breakup, which isn't a strong foundation for a lifelong partnership. Some also worry that living together can devalue the relationship or even oneself. There's a perspective, often shared in online communities, that holding off on intimacy can be a way to gauge a partner's true intentions. The argument is that if someone is truly committed to you for the long haul, they will respect your boundaries and be willing to wait. The fear is that rushing into physical intimacy might mean the relationship is based more on convenience and physical attraction than on genuine, deep-seated commitment. It can make some people question their worth or wonder if their partner would stick around without the physical aspect. This is a complex emotional territory, and for some, waiting feels like a way to protect their heart and ensure the commitment is real. So, with such strong arguments on both sides, what should you and your partner actually do? There's no one-size-fits-all answer, but here are the key things to consider. The absolute most important factor is open and honest communication. You need to sit down and have a real conversation about this. Don't just assume you're on the same page. Talk about your values, your beliefs, your fears, and your expectations. Why do you want to live together? What do you hope to gain from it? What are your concerns? This conversation itself is a great test of your relationship. Next, you have to respect each other's differences. It's very possible that you and your partner have completely different views on this topic, and that's okay. The key is to listen to each other without judgment. Can you acknowledge and respect their perspective, even if it's the opposite of yours? A healthy relationship is one where both partners feel heard and valued. If one person feels pressured or bulldozed into a decision, resentment is almost guaranteed to follow. Ultimately, this needs to be a conscious decision, not something you just drift into. As the spiritual leader said, Guru suggests, you should make choices consciously, not compulsively. Think through the potential consequences, both good and bad. What happens if you live together and it works out? What happens if it doesn't? Are you prepared for the emotional and practical difficulties of a trial divorce? This isn't just about trying on a pair of shoes, it's a significant life step that merges your lives in very real ways. And finally, remember what commitment is really about. True intimacy isn't just physical, it's about vulnerability, trust, and the security that comes from knowing someone is in it with you for the long run. For some, that level of vulnerability is only possible within the binding commitment of marriage. For others, building that vulnerability by sharing a life together first is what leads them to marriage. The path is different for everyone. The goal is to make a choice that aligns with your shared values and strengthens your bond, rather than creating cracks before you've even begun. So, what's the verdict? The best decision is the one you make together, consciously and with open hearts. There's no right or wrong answer, only what's right for you as a couple. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that makes you think.